Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a creative rut? I've discovered something that could help you break free. Today, I'm sharing 5 things I wish I knew before I started mark making and why it might be the key to unlocking your creativity. Mark making completely transformed my art practice. If I had known how life changing it was, I wouldn't have waited so long to start. If you're looking to boost your creativity, find new ways to express yourself, or just want a relaxing way to start creating, mark making could be exactly what you need. And I hope these tips inspire you to give it a try. The first thing I wish I knew is that mark making is one of the easiest art practices. You don't need a ton of fancy art supplies. If you've got a pen and paper, you can start making marks right now. And the best part, you don't need to plan or draw ahead of time. It's spontaneous, relaxing, and stress relieving. In my ebook, The Mark Making Starter Kit, I focus on using ink pens because they're so accessible. But the truth is, you can use anything, brushes, crayons, pencils, even your fingers to make marks. Experimenting with different tools is part of the fun, yet there's no pressure to have lots of supplies. You can use mark making as a way to explore the tools and mediums you already have. Throughout this video, you'll see me mark making with watercolor in a handmade sketchbook. Because you can do mark making with anything, it's an extremely accessible and portable art practice. You can do mark making anywhere with very few supplies. This past summer, I made a set of pre-painted mini sketchbooks so I could do mark making on the go. These little sketchbooks were fun while traveling and while waiting in the car for my kids. Mark making is so easy, but don't underestimate it. What really surprised me is how something so simple could help me get out of a creative slump. I'll share how that changed everything for me in a bit. Mark making is an easy way to always be creating, no matter how busy life gets. So if you've been putting off your art because you don't have the right supplies or enough time, just grab what you already have and start making marks. For more tips on supplies and how to get started, watch my video, How to Start Mark Making. If I had known how relaxing mark making is, I would have started so much sooner. It's almost like a form of meditation where you're so focused on the marks you're making that everything else fades away. There's something about repetitive mark making that allows you to turn off your overactive mind and just be. For me, mark making became a way to slow down, focus, and reconnect with my creativity. I started my mark making practice at a time when I was feeling creatively burnt out. It was a busy season when I didn't have hours to spend in the studio, so I needed something I could do in 10 or 15 minutes a day to keep my creativity alive. That's when I grabbed a small sketchbook, some pens, and started mark making with my morning coffee. What I didn't expect was how much it would help me process my stress. It was like a mental reset. With no pressure and no expectations, it's such a great way to start your day when you're feeling low on inspiration. And while mark making became my go-to creative release, what I never imagined was how it would help me overcome my perfectionism. Stick around to see how embracing imperfections in my marks has completely changed the way I view my art. The third thing I wish I had known is that mark making is an incredible idea generator. If you find yourself constantly searching for inspiration or not knowing what to do next in your art, mark making is a game changer. One mark leads to the next, and each mark opens up new possibilities for patterns, designs, and compositions you might not have thought of otherwise. What's awesome about mark making is that it sparks your curiosity and makes you want to explore what's possible. You'll naturally start asking yourself, what if I made this mark bigger? Or what if I put these marks in a circle? You start experimenting with the what ifs and end up creating something totally unexpected. All those small decisions build on each other, and before you know it, you've got a whole collection of new ideas in your sketchbook. As Pablo Picasso famously said, inspiration exists, but it has to find you working. That's exactly what mark making does. It gets you working and gets your creative juices flowing. It's an active way to invite inspiration into your practice. Exploring mark making made me feel more creative than ever. The more mark making you do, the more you'll discover new ideas and techniques, making it a powerful tool for creativity and artistic growth. Want to get started right away? Check out my ebook, The Mark Making Starter Kit, for tips, techniques, and exercises that will kickstart your mark making journey. Look for the link below the video. Another thing I wish I had known is there are no bad marks. It's okay. Actually, I think it's better to be imperfect. This is a huge lesson I learned through mark making, especially since I used to struggle with perfectionism. I always admired other artists' quirky, hand-drawn looks, but in my own art, I was obsessed with getting everything just right. Mark making helped me let go of that, and I started to embrace the charm of imperfection. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice leads to more interesting marks and patterns. Practice is how you discover your favorite marks and develop your shape language. More on that in a moment. Still, you might be thinking, but my marks won't look as neat as yours. Well, my marks didn't look like this at the beginning either. Confidently making marks is a learned skill. Those effortless marks you see me and other artists making are marks we've made hundreds or thousands of times. We've practiced and iterated. We've discovered the marks we love, and along with it, our mark making confidence. One of the things I talk about in my ebook is the magic of repetition. The beauty of mark making lies in the repetition of marks, not in the perfection of each one. When you repeat your marks, they create a pattern, and that's what catches the viewer's eye. Each mark has its own uniqueness, and when combined, they create something beautiful. It's perfectly imperfect. So, don't worry if your marks aren't perfect. Keep going, and you'll start to find patterns and shapes you love. With practice, you'll build up your mark making confidence. Also, I wish I had known that mark making would teach me so much about myself as an artist. It's so much more than just a fun art activity. It's a way to discover your own shape language, the types of shapes, patterns, and marks you naturally gravitate towards. It's so satisfying to fill up an entire page full of marks and so exciting to see the patterns that emerge. When you make repetitive marks, you start to see recurring shapes and patterns in your work. For example, you might notice you love making neat, orderly marks, or maybe big, expressive marks are more your style. Those preferences are your shape language, a visual vocabulary that shows up in your art. Over time, your mark making will help you develop your signature style, something that's completely unique to you. But the benefits don't stop there. With every page of marks you make, you're creating a collection of your own source material, your personal inspiration library. Your mark-making pages will inspire you again and again, giving you a well of ideas to pull from for future projects. It's not just about making marks, it's about discovering who you are as an artist, what excites you, and how you want to express yourself. If you're ready to start your mark making journey and want to know how to make the most out of your practice, check out my ebook, The Mark Making Starter Kit. It's packed with everything you need to begin, including tips, techniques, and exercises to get you going. The link is below this video and you can start today. Get ready to fill your sketchbook and explore your creativity.